was 4-1 on my picks.
Nice.
I was only wrong with the Steelers because they fucked me royally.
Yeah.
But Joe C himself actually kept in line with me, surprisingly. Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
How does that possible?
I think he just picked whatever I picked.
That's right. All right, keep going.
What is it, 30 seconds?
And then the Foo and Steph did horribly. They both are 2 and 3 in their picks for this week. So this week's picks, since Foo and Steph aren't here, I got their picks ahead of time. You know, if the Foo kind of transmitted them. You know, he's over visiting Footopia for the for the next couple of days. You know, he said he'll be here.
Did he leave the stove on again?
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. They're able to send him more, fluid. So he was able to make it there a lot faster.
Right.
So he'll be here on Thursday.
Okay.
And then I gave him to Steph, but Steph's being antisocial today, so that's a little okay.
She's making tacos.
That's fine. So the games that we're picking, so it's actually we have our Thursday night game this upcoming week. It's the Colts versus the Patriots. And the Colts are actually visiting the Patriots. And the line for the game is Pats winning -10. So basically the spread's -10. So the Pats the line is the Pats are going to win, but they're going to win less than 10. Okay, so then if you want to pick the opposite, then you would be picking the Colts +10.
How are the Colts doing this year? Are they
Up and down?
Yeah,
kind of like the Patriots. The Patriots are a little
Kinda
inconsistent, right?
It's still really early on in the season, though, so it's really, really.
But
too early
typically,
to
it takes the Pats like a few games to really launch, doesn't it?
Sometimes.
To ramp up into it.
Yeah, especially after they've been to a Super Bowl, sometimes they always kind of take a little while to, they have that little hangover for the first few games.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
get
think
into their groove.
Yeah, and this last week against the Dolphins, they fucking just
tore it up.
beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
They took their wallet, they took their lunch money, they took their IDs.
They were like, yoink.
They said, "Oh, you got a passport too? I'll take that too." You know what? All right, I want your shoes. Those look like nice Jordans. Like, I'm gonna take that too. Like, oh yeah, they took everything.
Oh yeah,
took everything, even that nice gold tooth that
He did take my
Kenyon
tooth.
Drake was wearing. Yeah, so I mean, they may just beat the shit out of these Colts coming up because the Colts D is not that great. It's really Andrew Luck that's keeping him in the game right now.
Yeah,
but even then, he's still kind of like
he's still not even that great. I think he's overhyped. So, first, Joe C, what do you think? What are your picks for this one?
I'm going with the Patriots on this one.
Pats on this
one? Yeah, they'll win over 10 points. They're probably going to get 2 touchdowns, maybe a field goal in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Richie and Drew, you guys won't be, on the next podcast. But, what are your guys' thoughts? Who do you guys think is going to take this one?
I'm going to have to go with Joe on that.
Yeah?
The
Pats? Rich?
Raiders in 2.
Raiders in 2.
Oh, wait,
Got
never
it.
mind.
Tuck rule.
Oh, yeah. No. Are they playing in Foxborough?
Yes, they're playing in Foxborough.
Right.
Final score, Pats 34, the Colts 6.
Oh, wow. Even the Pats,
Dude,
giving the Colts a little.
What's crazy is that
credit.
a lot of the kickers have been missing their extra points lately.
Oh, a lot. There's been a lot of kickers fired recently.
Are you serious?
Dude,
yeah.
it's awful.
Like the Browns have been through, they fired their kicker that they had at the beginning of the year. Like he missed every field goal.
What?
Like they could have, like they were playing the Steelers. It was the tie game. Or no, not the tie game. I'm sorry. It was against the Saints. They went to overtime. And they had the chance to beat it before it went to overtime. And the kicker missed the field goal. So they get into overtime, and they had the chance to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And he missed the fucking field goal. And the Saints came back, and they drove, and they won it.
Jeez.
And the next day, the dude gets cut. And everyone's
what
like,
happens.
fuck. But
The problem is they're not hiring any soccer players as their fucking field goal kickers.
No.
Hire soccer players.
You know who? Yeah, it's a lot of like rugby players and guys that used to be high school soccer players. It's like no. Go to pro. Go get Lionel Messi. I know he wants to retire. Get Messi, and dude, that'll be a.
What's Kobe Jones up to these days?
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah,
He still kick a ball,
he's
right?
not doing shit. He can kick that shit up the upright. Come on now.
He still got it. He still got it.
All right. So the next game, this one hits a little close to heart for me and Richie here. It's actually the Vikings versus the Eagles. And so what the line is right here, it's Vikings -3. Eagles -3. So they're saying the Eagles are going to win, and the score is going to be within 3.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you know how the line works as far as the betting line?
No, go ahead and explain, please.
Okay, so I know I said this a lot in the last podcast, -3, -10. What a lot of folks don't know is that when they have -10, that's the betting line. So if you bet $10 for, let's say, for instance, for the Patriots, you're only gonna, and if they win, you only get $1 back. But let's say if you bet the opposite, if you bet the Colts, and then the odds would be +10. So if you bet $1, you get $10 for every dollar you bet.
Ah.
So that's how the line works. So
okay,
substitute
right.
$1. Now we
know.
And knowing is half the battle.
And you can take that to the bank. So for those of you who are trying to place bets this weekend on some of the games, that's how you guys read the lines. So, substitute $1 for $100, and then there you go. Now you have the line. And it also gives you kind of an indication, again, of where the game may go.
Right.
So, when they say Philadelphia -3, that means they think Eagles are going to win. It's going to be a close one. So it could go either way. So whenever you see lines that are -3 or below, those are the games that are the riskiest goddamn games.
Yeah, but if you win, you're winning some money.
Yeah, you're winning
Yeah.
some goddamn money. Yeah, so
change.
Josie, what do you think?
So what are my options again?
So it's Eagles against Vikings, and the line's Eagles -3.
Yeah, I'm going with Eagles on this one.
Yeah.
There you go,
As you
boy.
should.
Yeah.
You done learned today.
Of course, I'm going with the Eagles on this one.
Don't be all. I mean, be real though.
So obviously I didn't announce what the other guys picked. So Steph picked the Pats as well, but the Foo picked the Colts over the Pats.
Oh,
so
he's making it interesting.
He's trying to get a one up on all of us since he kind of thinks he's gonna, they're gonna win anyway. And then he picked the Vikings over the Eagles, like a dick. And Steph picked the same thing. So I'm kind of seeing a trend here.
Okay.
Okay, and so then the next pick we got is going to be the Falcons at Pittsburgh. And so the line is Pittsburgh -3.
Mm-hmm.
So similar, can kind of go either way. If you guys go for the Falcons and they win,
I'm going Falcons on.
You're gonna go Falcons
Yeah, I
on
think
this
they're
one?
due.
I
You
agree.
think it's
Yeah,
about that
they're,
time?
I
they're
think it's
due.
about goddamn
Yeah,
time.
Matt Ryan, man,
Seriously.
he's fucking due for something.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah,
guy.
and those receivers they got with Calvin Ridley now,
Yeah,
and Julio
yeah.
Jones. Calvin Ridley's been a beast this last week.
Dude.
Calvin Ridley, rookie out of Alabama. Just in these last 2 weeks, he's scored 4 touchdowns. Yeah, it's been insane. He's been a revelation for their offense. So we'll see. I'm actually going to go with the Falcons as well, as did Steph and as did the Foo.
Okay.
Good
So we're
job.
all
So we're
unanimous
kinda-
there.
Yeah, we're all unanimous.
Well,
And
I just think they're due.
yeah, and honestly, the Steelers don't look that good.
No, they don't.
They
Not
don't
this
look
year.
that good. I mean,
No.
they got their asses kicked by the Ravens.
Seriously.
I did not see that coming. That was a blindside. Get it?
Nevermore.
Get it? No.
Hey!
All right. Moving on. Next game, since we are in LA, we got to go with LA's team.
Chargers? Oh, wait, never mind.
Rams
Sorry,
versus the Seahawks. Rams are actually going to be playing at Seattle, and the line right now is the Rams -7.
Okay.
So they're kind of thinking the Rams are going to kind of run away with this.
Okay.
What do you guys think, Josie?
Rams.
Rams?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those guys are on fire right now. It's my team.
They are.
Oh, it's good you have a team.
They're like the Showtime
Default.
football.
Showtime Lakers?
They're the Showtime football guys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that. But
I don't know, man. Like,
I'm
it's really tough to win up there in Seattle.
it is,
Yeah.
and -7. That's a very generous one.
Yeah.
I think they're due for a loss, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna go with the Seahawks on this one.
I agree with you on
I
think
I just think these guys are gonna come out, with a fire under their ass, especially after losing Earl Thomas. I think these guys are gonna want to prove something a little bit in this next game.
Okay.
The Foo picked the Rams, and your wife picked the Seahawks.
that. Yeah,
Alright.
go Steph.
So
Yeah.
we got 2 outliers here. So the next game we got coming up is the Cowgirls versus the Texans.
Okay.
So the line is actually Houston -3.5.
Uh-huh.
So again, 3.5. They're kind of leaning more towards Houston actually winning this on that upside. So what do you think on this one?
Jeez.
I know.
Did we outplay our music?
It's a tough one.
We
This
outpaced
is the
our
longest
music.
sports segment we've ever done.
Good job.
We ran out of the music bed.
Good job, guys.
You guys were here to see it first.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
You fucks. All right. What are my options again?
It was the Cowgirls against the Texans.
Against the Texans. Texans.
Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
I don't know about the Cowboys this year.
You might want to hold the sign up again.
Hold up
you
that
wanna put
sign
that
for the nice
sign up against for the
Facebook
Cowgirls.
family.
That's right.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are way overrated for even what they are now, and they're not even that good. Like, they don't have any good receivers. I think they actually just lost their only decent receiver. Tavon Austin used to be a Ram, and he's not even a good receiver. Like, he could barely catch a ball
decent.
downfield.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't catch any short routes. He's only a deep. I mean, he's got no short game.
No.
Yeah, come on, man, gotta work on that. Short.
Sounds like Jose's golf game.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
He doesn't play golf.
I don't
at
play
all,
golf.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be taking the Texans too, as did the Foo and as did Stief.
Well,
I know.
So much for a game.
I know.
They do for a game.
So the final game I'm actually going to that I decided to pick is the Washington team against the Saints. And the line is New Orleans -6.5.
Okay.
So again, New Orleans offense
Seems
they are on
Seems pretty
point.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just demolished the Giants. Defense kind of two-faced, I think. Like, some days that defense is on point. Like, they're getting interceptions, kind of, taking them back to the house. The other day, all of a sudden, they're allowing 400 yards and 5 touchdowns to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, is it just the beard?
You know what? It is the beard. It is the beard. They fucked our Eagles that second.
I know,
second
that
game,
bastard.
so.
And then the Washington, Washington, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell what's going on with them.
You can never tell.
You
what
know,
Washington
you can't.
did.
Alex Smith, he was great with the Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
Great with the Chiefs last year. Right now, he had one good game, his opening game. I think he threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Decent game. And then the next game, he barely threw for 100.
Yeah.
But, Adrian Peterson all of a sudden, revitalized his career. So I'm actually going to be going with the Saints on this one. I think the Saints offense is just too strong. Too strong. What
I'm
about
going to
you?
disagree with you on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Washington team.
Yeah. The Washington team that's non-existent this season. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Josie.
Why don't they exist?
Because they're Washington.
The Washington.
Yeah, they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then let's go with the Saints. Seems like a strong pick to me.
It's a great choice. I gotta give you that one for that choice.
So based off all of her picks, really the 2 games to actually look at that may, put one of us in the lead is the Eagles and Vikings game or the Seahawks Rams.
Okay.
Obviously, the other teams don't matter because we all picked the goddamn same.
Yeah, and anyway, those are the 2 games I would actually enjoy watching, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so that worked. That kind of worked itself out.
I mean, after a couple beers, you might enjoy the other couple games too. though.
Maybe.
I mean, this Texans Cowboys game actually might be interesting only in the fact that Deshaun Watson's playing, and this guy. I mean, this guy is like Michael Vick-esque except better,
Yeah.
and faster.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what he can do, and hopefully he blows up and puts on a good game. So finally, to conclude, this was sports.
All right. Well, I wasn't planning on this, but I got a joint report today, fellers.
Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you 2 under the table.
It's from the bone. All right. Well, I found this one just before starting the show today, and it says I found it on USAToday.com. Marijuana reform. New California law gives people with records a do-over.
What?
So, hailed by advocates as a chance for people to reclaim their lives, a new California law will soon make it easier for people with past marijuana convictions to get their records expunged completely or their sentences significantly reduced.
Wow.
I know. Assembly Bill 1793 passed by overwhelming majority in the California State Legislature and signed into law Sunday night by Governor Jerry Brown. Will streamline a previously tedious process that made it difficult for residents with a prior cannabis-related conviction to clear their names.
Nice.
So I think it's very important that nobody like misses out on any job opportunities because they got sent
Caught
to
with
jail.
weed. Yeah, that's
caught with
awesome.
weed.
That's great because that opens up